All glories to assemble today. All glories to of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 28, Shloka 20. Tasmin labdha padam chittam sarva vayava samastitam vilakshayikatra samyuja ange bhagavata muni tasmin labdha padam chittam
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai.
Translation. In fixing his mind on the eternal form of the Lord, the yogi should not take a collective view of all his limbs, but should fix the mind on each individual limb of the Lord. Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The word Muni is very significant. Muni means one who is very expert in mental speculation or in thinking, feeling and willing. He is not mentioned here as a devotee or yogi. Those who try to meditate on the form of the Lord are called Munis or less intelligent, whereas those who render actual service to the Lord are called Bhakti Yogis. The thought process described below is for the education of the Muni. In order to convince the yogi that the absolute truth or the Supreme Personality of Godhead is never impersonal at any time, the following verses prescribe observing the Lord in His personal form, limb after limb. To think of the Lord as a whole may sometimes be impersonal. Therefore, it is recommended here that one first think of his lotus feet, then his ankles, then thighs, then the waist, then the chest, and then the neck, and then the face, and so on. One should begin from the lotus feet and gradually rise to the upper limbs of the transcendental body of the Lord. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Seek the blessings of all the devotees here to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam on this very auspicious day. We all have glorified now His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj's Vyas Puja, and on Fridays we do Guru Maharaj Puja, and today is also Sanatan Goswami's disappearance day. And we all are in this movement because one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Rupa and Sanatan Goswami to leave everything and just go to Vrindavan and do what? Uncover those places of temple, write books and spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Today is a very auspicious day, and Sanatana Goswami used to read Srimad Bhagavatam practically every day, all the time. He was so famous in Vrindavan. Every problem he used to solve. Not only spiritual problem, not only related to devotional issues, but even the fights and all, Sanatana Goswami used to solve the problems. So many devotees, they read Sanatana Goswami's compilation, Sarva Shastra Avadhi Piyusha. Sarva Shastra Avadhi Piyusha means amongst all the scriptures, Avadhi is the ocean. Among the oceans of the scriptures, Sarva Shastra Avadhi Piyusha, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the purest. Sarva Vedeka Satfal. Amongst all the Vedas, there are so many Vedas, Mahabharata, Puranas, Upanishads. This is the Satfal. This is the ripened fruit of all the Vedas. Sarva Siddhanta Ratnabhyaya. There are so many philosophies, so many sampradayas. But this Srimad Bhagavatam is the Ratnabhyaya. Sarva Loke ka ek drink. This gives one direction to everyone. Srimad Bhagavat Pran. This is the life and this is the prana of all the devotees. And that's why we know from first Canto how much importance was given to Srimad Bhagavatam when Narad Muni comes to Vyasdev. You all are familiar with that. He wasn't satisfied by compiling all the scriptures. Then he said, ultimately you have to glorify the Lord in order to get satisfaction. So Srimad Bhagavat Pran Kalidvant Aditya, it has come as a sun to dispel the darkness which has come in our way, in our life. And then the last sentence is very important. Srimad Kalidvant Aditya Shri Krishna Parivartita. This book is nothing but Krishna himself. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, while preaching one time, see, we know all this, but when you listen to this story, he was preaching and a drunkard was there talking to one of his disciples. See, the person said to that fellow who was drinking regularly that you don't drink, you will go to hell. So he said, what is the problem? My father also drinks. So he said, he will also go to hell. Then he said, really? But all my friends, they drink and they enjoy. So they will also go to hell. All my relatives also, they drink and enjoy, and we all enjoy together. So he said, they will also go to hell. So then this fellow who was drinking regularly and he had come in the class, he said, if every one of the relatives and my friends and father, if they are going to hell and drinking, so might as well enjoy in the hell together and drink. This is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to give this example. See, from this consciousness, most of us we have come. What is the problem? Let us enjoy. If this enjoyment is there in the hell also, it's good. In one way, if you see scriptures, if you have to really, for Krishna consciousness of Krishna, even hell is acceptable, right? But this consciousness is different. This is in the mode of enjoyment. So, it's very important to understand the importance of Hare Krishna movement. Today we will discuss in two parts. The first, the importance, because it is because of Prabhupada's Hare Krishna movement, today we are glorifying Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswamis and so many Goswamis in the line of Gaudiya Sampradaya. So if you see, in the first part we will glorify this Hare Krishna movement. The second part we will take up from the purport and try to understand the ritual aspect of devotion and the essence aspect of the devotion. See, the movement, I'll give you two stories. The first story is in 1893. 1893, the place is South Africa. And a man, 24-year-old man, travels from Durban to some place which I forgot. And he has a first class ticket. And he sits in the cabin. And after some time, a white man comes and he throws him out of the train. He comes to the station, he sits and he plans for a movement. Who is this man? Everybody knows. The other story, same year, same time, in Calcutta, a person, an Indian man, outside the station, natural call, he urinates and he is jailed, he is caught. And then in that night in the jail, he decides that he has to do something against the Britishers. And he has to start a movement. Who is this man? Who is this man? No, many. Mahatma Gandhi won, right? We all, immediately the answer came Mahatma Gandhi. This man, there could be so many men. That time, so many men were jailed for something. Oh, why you are urinating here? Why you are doing this? Why you are doing that? So we don't remember the names, right? But similarly, this Hare Krishna movement, we will today understand what are the three aspects, why it is remembered, why Mahatma Gandhi's episode is remembered, why Hitler's movement, the Germany, is remembered, why the civil rights movement of the West is remembered. See, for any movement, three things are required, and we will see how those three things are very well integrated in Hare Krishna movement. The first thing is strong ties. What it means, strong ties? That the person who thinks about this movement or starting or initiating this movement should have a strong tie with the people. You know, in present circumstances, we know which man in India has got a strong tie, right? That time, Gandhiji, how he developed strong tie? Because of the circumstances. Of course, his own personality was also there. People wanted to get freedom. So circumstances was there in favor of Gandhi. In case of Hitler's movement, what was the circumstances? The circumstances was that the Germany, they were defeated and he wanted to bring the pride, right? So sometimes the very first point, which is strong ties, it develops with the people because of circumstances or because of the time. If I spend a lot of time with you all, naturally the strong ties develop, right? But see Hare Krishna movement of Srila Prabhupada, and this is very interesting. The strong ties did not develop with the devotees or with the hippies because of circumstances. No, there was no such circumstances. They were happily enjoying there, right? There was no long association also with them. So how that strong ties developed within the movement and how its movement came forward. This is for us to understand. There was no circumstances, there was no long duration of association, but still Srila Prabhupada made a huge impact. There was language issue, there was cultural issue, there were so many other issues. He was old, but still he established Hare Krishna movement with strong ties. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is expressed that, you know, the honey bees, they move from one flower to another flower, another flower to another flower, another flower to another flower. Why? Because it wants the nectar, honey. And it goes on moving. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, it goes on moving till it finds which flower. Anybody remembers? Then the honeybee is satisfied. It is Parijat flower. The moment it comes to that flower in contact, all the desires are satisfied. Similarly, the next shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the way when the honeybee comes in contact with the Parijat flower, every desires are satisfied. Similarly, when a person comes in contact with the empowered person, Krishna's empowered, Shaktya Vaishavdar, when a person comes in contact, automatically he becomes Krishna consciousness, automatically the consciousness changes and automatically the movement spreads. So this is the concept. It's not like Gandhian movement, it's not like Hitler's movement, it's not like civil rights movement. Here in Hare Krishna movement, it is based on Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is the power of Shaktya Vaishavdar, that an old man at that age of 68, 70, going from India to the Western country and spreading the movement. It is based on Srimad Bhagavatam, that one day the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be sung all over the world by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So this is strong ties. And only because of strong ties, I'll give you one example that who is the Mataji who just some years back expired and whose every day we sing here in the darshan, Yamuna Mataji. So Yamuna Mataji, and this is based on strong ties. Yamuna Mataji had come with Srila Prabhupada to India and they were traveling in the train. So Prabhupada expressed that to Mataji, can you get some hot rice? Now, those times getting hot rice in the train was like unimaginable. But anyway, she goes to the pantry and she asks for the hot rice. The person says the next station will come, we will get some rice, but we can't guarantee whether it is hot or whatever. So she said, no, we want just now. My Guru Maharaj wants hot rice. So she said, whether it is your Guru Maharaj, we cannot make hot rice. Then, in those days in the pantry, they used to have some, kitchen, and they never used to make hot rice and all. But this Mataji was so fixed. She said, if you don't give me hot rice, I will jump out of the train. This is Yamuna Mataji. So this fellow lady jumping out of the gate and in the pantry, she said, okay, we'll do something. So finally they managed hot rice for Srila Prabhupada and the hot rice was given. Now we are discussing strong ties. So imagine, we cannot copy this, okay, we will also do like this. But the point is, see, if the desire is there, the strong ties are established between Prabhupada and his initial disciples, then you will find the ways to sort out the problem. So she used the intelligence and she got it. So this is the first aspect of any movement, strong ties. The second aspect is, through strong ties, we move on to weak ties. Now you will be surprised to know what is this weak ties. Weak ties are also important. Why weak ties are important? Just see the Gandhian movement in South Africa. There were many who were supporting Gandhi, but there were also some people who were kind of, okay, if we are asked, we will go. Just like here also in Bahrain, so many devotees, so many people, they are not coming to temple. But they are potential people who can join these strong ties, right? So they are just waiting. So similarly, in South Africa, that movement also, they were just waiting for some initiation, okay, somebody will call them to join Gandhian movement. So those weak ties are also worked in South Africa. Those weak ties were also worked in the movement of Hitler. Those weak ties were also worked in the movement of civil rights. But in Hare Krishna movement also there were weak ties. And those who were the weak ties? The weak ties were all the Indians. Prabhupada was here only now. For so many years he was here. He could not make a devotee. He could not sell even back to Godhead. He was unsuccessful everywhere, most of the places, before he went to US. So the weak ties were still here in India. So what Prabhupada did, through the strong ties, through the white elephant, he got all the white elephant. I'm sure you know what is white elephant. The white guys and the elephant because of their body. Okay. So he got them to India, and then the Indian people and we got, oh, this is very important for us. So one time I was going to give a class. The banner was Prabhupada and his International Society for Krishna Consciousness and the Western devotees. Prabhupada said, change the banner and put the banner International Society for Krishna Consciousness with European and American devotees, just to have an impact. So this is Prabhupada's strategy to take strong ties through white elephant, bring in, and then take the weak ties. This is everywhere, and to see the importance of weak ties. When the European European devotees went to South Africa, Australia, other parts of the world, even Russia. Because of their, strength, this event could take the weak ties in South Africa, in Australia and US. What a management, what a strategy Prabhupada developed. Isn't it? This is weak ties. So through strong ties, through weak ties, and the third one is very important. The third one is the identity. Yesterday in the Bhagavad Gita class, I think Satyananda Prabhu said, Gita, right? I is the identity in that. See, the strong ties, weak ties. Many movements you will find with the strong ties and weak ties. But this third point, which is sustaining this movement and which will sustain any movement, is the identity. What was the identity given in Satyagraha in the movement of Gandhi? Satyagrahis, right? He said you are Satyagrahis. And it was very famous. What was the identity given in Hitler's movement, that you have to get up and fight as a body, right? What was the identity given by Srila Prabhupada in Hare Krishna movement? That you are not the body, you are the soul. See, for us, it will appear, whatever. If somebody tells you are not the body, you are the soul, this is the real identity, right? Prabhupada gave this identity. Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Das. This is the thing which is sustaining this movement. Because any other movement based on the identity of the body, although it started with strong ties, weak ties, taking everybody into account, but the identity given is based on the bodily platform. So it has to end. Who remembers Gandhian movement now? Okay, it's in the history book. Who remembers Hitler? It's in the history book. Civil rights movement. Who remembers? But Prabhupada said this movement, strong tie will die, weak tie will die, but identity will remain, and the basis of that, basis of Srimad Bhagavatam, this movement will last for 10,000 years. Right? For the eternity. 10,000 years means it is eternal. So this is important. And what Prabhupada writes in the introduction also, that Bhag Visarva Janta Aga Viplabo, this will create a revolution in the life of impious people. So for Prabhupada's words, we can understand that he had planned, starting from 60s, how through the strong ties, weak ties, and giving the real identity that you are Krishna's servant. And that's what the purport also says. From where we should start looking at the Lord? From the lotus feet. Right? Go up, go up, go up, go up. This is the beauty of Hare Krishna movement, which is uncomparable to any other movement. This is the first which I wanted to discuss. That is the basis of Hare Krishna movement, the strength of Hare Krishna movement, and because of that, today we are celebrating Sanatana Goswami's disappearance day, and similarly we celebrate so many days of Gaudiya Sampradayas who have given us a lot of knowledge through scriptures and chanting the holy name. The second part is in this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see that every time when the discussion comes of yoga, the direction is given to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? So yoga is important, but the ultimate thing of yoga is to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, remember Krishna. Just like for a flight, when the aircraft, aeroplane, it needs a strip also, It doesn't go directly in the air. It needs padarana. So this yoga and meditation can be considered like that runway. It is required, right? You just cannot go up. So it's required. But if that becomes the ultimate goal, then aeroplane will go anywhere. Without sky, without flying, it will not go anywhere. So this is required. Meditation is required, yoga is required. But in order to fly, we have understand the purport where it is said that the Muni is the one who is involved. Prabhupada mentions very clearly here. Who is Muni? Ritualistic, It's kind of rituals. Who is too much involved in the rituals. And who is Bhakta? Who knows the essence. A Bhakta can be adjusted in yogic atmosphere, a Bhakta can be adjusted outside, inside, wherever, because he knows that the best way to utilize the time is chanting the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now, this yogi and the Bhakta, that differentiation is given here. We will try to understand that in terms of the typical ritualistic way and understanding the essence. See, one thing we all should understand that the rituals are important. Rituals, we cannot get away with rituals. There are, in cricket match also, if you see, before start of the match there is handshake, right? There is national anthem also played. People come in dress, somebody comes in white dress, somebody is another dress, they play. If the match is over, I don't know how many hours, if you have seen, even the losing team also shakes hand, right? So why these rituals are there? These rituals are there to give us the understanding of that in life we need something. For example, when you are shaking hand after losing, it teaches us that in life also we may lose, so we have to accept it. Similarly, rituals, if I put a nice dhoti, kurta and go to a house, it gives a good mood, that is important. I remember in one class I heard the importance of ritual. This is very interesting. Jagannath Puri. So, 3 brahmachari goes with another brahmachari who comes from Jammu Kashmir. And if you look at him, he looks like a foreigner. From the white skin, even the hair is like that. So this brahmachari from Mumbai, he took that brahmachari to Jagannath Puri. So very first day, they came, and this fellow from Jammu Kashmir used to speak fluent Hindi. So Panda said, "Hey, Turuk, you stop." Why? Side. Okay, both of you go side. He started speaking Hindi. अरे भाई मैं इधर कश्मीर से आया हूँ, ये बोला नहीं, लोग फिरंगी लोग भी हिंदी बोलते हैं, तो साइड में रुक. So this fellow come from Bombay to Jagannath Puri to take darshan of the Lord, and the Pandas and all they are saying to look. So he tried to persuade, but no luck. Then this fellow got so agitated, he is a brahmachari, I will not take the name, so agitated that he saw that nothing is going to work here because of his skin color and because of his appearance. Then he started giving galis in Indian, North Indian galis. We cannot even imagine. He started hurling bad words like anything he started. And he said, "Chal, tu bhi chal." The moment he started giving, he understood because of the ritual. Why rituals are important? This is just entertainment value of the story. Don't get me wrong. He started hurling, and then this fellow understood that this looks American and European, but he is actually very Indian. He said, okay, tu bhi aaja, andar aaja. So he heard gali, he got galis, but he allowed him to take a darshan of the Lord. Jagannath Ji ki. But the story does not end here. The next day, different Panda. So same thing, three of them, they went. Again he was stopped because of his appearance, color and all that. So he said, "Arey, kali to maine tere ko gali diya." You allowed me yesterday because of this. You understood that I am Indian. So he said, "No, maybe different Panda, but you are not Indian. So you wait." Then again he started arguing and all that thing. So he said, "Okay, come." In the end, he took him to a room inside and he said, "Okay." And the Jagannath Prasad was coming. So after some time he said, "Batch up." The Panda said, "Bat." So he sat. And then they put all Jagannath Prasad in front of him. And he was looking what next is going to come. So then what happened, the Pandavas there, they said, "Ab khao usko." So he started eating, and then with the hand, with this, and he started really honoring the Jagannath Prasad, where, all Prasad in front of him. So the Pandavas said, "Okay, tu jao, andar jao. Yes, you can go inside." See, the point is, when they saw the way of eating, when they saw in Gali, they saw the Indianness, they allowed. So what I am coming to is that the rituals, just like the platform is required for the aeroplane, also the street, rituals are important. But if we do the excess of rituals, just like if the munis and all, if they get into the excess of rituals here in the purport, then that takes away the essence. The essence is gone. Prabhupada gives one example in Prabhupada's class. A wife, the husband has gone for months, like 1 year husband was outside. The wife used to cook, offer deities, and he used to also offer it to the husband. Now we are coming to the ritual part. See this one. So every time she used to offer to the husband also, and then she used to take food or distribute to the children. So this went on for 1 year like that till the husband returns. The day husband returns, the first thing, without greeting the husband, she went and first offered the food to the deities and to the husband's photo. Prabhupada mentioned this one. The ritual consumes so much energy and so much time and so much of the mind space that she went and offered food to the husband's picture without asking him, because the husband himself has come, but she has gone there to offer the food. So many examples are there. One time we all have heard marriage ceremony, and this Sanskrit scholar goes, normally in this ceremony we cannot understand what mantras are being pronounced, right? Unless you know the mantras of marriage ceremony, funeral ceremony, and housewarming ceremony. So this fellow went to the marriage ceremony in Mumbai and he saw, oh my God, this fellow is pronouncing the funeral mantra in a marriage ceremony. He goes and tells to the owner, like, your daughter's married, but he is reciting funeral mantra. And he said, "Abhi chalne do, abhi roko mat, let it go on with funeral mantra only. We will discuss this later on." What he can do, because there are so many, and he doesn't know, the pujari doesn't know. So the ritual aspect, it can consume the whole thing also. So what we will do, the purport talks about the ritual and moving away from the ritual also, the taking the essence of Krishna consciousness. We'll take one short pastime in 10 minutes to finish from Srimad Bhagavatam to understand the importance of understanding the essence of Krishna consciousness. And this is from the Krishna book. I am sure you all know, but the essence will be very interesting. The Brahmanas and the Brahmanas' Patnis. This is from Krishna book. Of course, it is in 10th Canto also elaborately described. So what happens? One day, Krishna, Balaram, and all the Krishna, Balaram says cowherd boys, they are playing. And the cowherd boys, they tell Krishna that what is the use of you being our friend Krishna? You have killed so many demons and you can do anything, but you cannot satisfy our hunger. What is the use? We are so friendly with Krishna. There is a different rasa with the Krishna. Only cowherd boys or the ones which are very close to Krishna can have that rasa. I remember one time Devamrit Prabhu, now Bhakti Rasamrita Swami Maharaj, had come and he was giving a class in that room. I don't know how many of you remember. He said everywhere in the world Krishna is worshipped like the God, Supreme Personality of Godhead. You give lot of reverence. Only in Vrindavan, Krishna is worshipped either equal or lower. He made that statement there, that in Vrindavan they are so close that they consider him like a child, they consider him like a friend and all that. But all over the world, Krishna is worshipped like a god, and is given a lot of reverence. So what happens here, the cowherd boys are also discussing with Krishna, because they have a different ras. One time, Prabhu gave a class, this is about the ras. He gave a class, and he used to give a good class only. So one brahmachari said, you have given a very good class, and he said, when I go home, my wife says, half the thing you speak you don't implement only. In the class you speak very good, but the half the things you are not doing at home, you are not doing with children, with the parents. So this brahmachari told him that this is a different rasa between you and your wife. Just wanted to keep him going. He said this is a different ras. Just like here, cowherd boys and Krishna, they have got a different ras. They can scold Krishna, they can tell Krishna anything, that I am hungry, you do something for me. So what Krishna says, you go to the Brahmanas, they are preparing for yajna. So they will give you the food. So these cowherd boys, they go to the Brahmanas. They are preparing for yajna. So when they go there and they ask that Krishna, Balaram and all of us, we want to have prasad, then what Brahmanas they tell them? They say that this is a fruitive activity. I am telling you that story in short because of the time. That they say this, all these things which you are asking us is a fruitive activity. Doesn't make any sense. They did not give the prasad, they did not give the food, they did not say yes, they did not say no. They kept them hanging, Brahmanas. Why? Because Brahmanas were attached to the rituals that let first yajna be finished, then only these things will be offered or distributed. They did not consider that this is being asked by Krishna and Balaram himself. They are the representative of Krishna and Balaram, the cowherd boys. They have come, they want to have honor prasad. So the purpose they lost and they got involved in the. And what they said? They said, you are children and I am very senior. So why you are asking all these things at the wrong time? See, from the seniority I will tell you one. Just now I remember. Again, one bhakta was describing this. If you call a hospital, any hospital, for example in Mumbai, if you call any hospital, how the senior bhakta, madhyam bhakta, kanishta bhakta, they will. She was giving analogies. If you call a hospital and you get an answer, this is Leelavati hospital, how can I help you? Like this, very soft. You can understand. He's a new joinee in hospital and he's a Kanishta Bhakta. If the answer comes, yes, Leelavati, what can I do? Then he was medium Bhakta who has spent around 5-10 years in Krishna consciousness. The first answer is from a Bhakta who has just come, who has just joined the movement. Yes, Omkar? Who has just entered in the Krishna consciousness movement. The second answer is by a person who has spent some time. Yes, what can I do? And the third one is very interesting. If the answer comes, hey, kya kaam hai? Kya karne ka hai? Then this answer means he has spent 20-30 years and this fellow is real senior devotee. I am telling you. To understand, this is Brahmanas. What is the use? Now first we have to do yajna. First we have to offer it to Krishna, offer it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead is already come in. He has sent the representative. What are you doing? They are asking for food. Just offer it. Just give it. But this fellow just went on and went on and went on and they did not give. they said, it is in the Bhagavatam, they heard but they did not hear. Just like in second canto it is described, Pashyanti apina pashyati. Seeing also we are not seeing. We are seeing every day people are dying. We are seeing everyone is suffering. But we say, no, our time maybe later on is still some time is there. Seeing but not seeing. Brahmanas listening to the cowherd boys that the Krishna and Balaram, they are waiting for the food, they have asked for the offerings. Listening but not listening. Neither saying yes nor saying no. So this is the response of Brahmanas. But what happens next? They come back to Krishna. Because their only shelter is Krishna. This is what Bhaktirasamrita Swami Maharaj said. In Vrindavan you can give anything, you can tell anything to Krishna. Then again they said, what is the use of you being the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You have destroyed so many demons, but we cannot get food. See, imagine the situation. The food is not available to them, those little boys. Krishna says, are begging? Why you are begging? This is in Krishna's book. Sometimes a beggar gets and sometimes a beggar doesn't get. It's like a begging. Then they get again, children, if you teach philosophy, they will get mad. But we have to remember the concept is so important. That the Prabhupada was treated like this in India before he went to US. He used to go to Delhi in summer and sometimes somebody used to say, hey, you are wasting my time. Prabhupada, not a single word, used to come back and used to write an article, the modern age people and the time, how the time is affecting the modern people of India. What Prabhupada used to do, suppose somebody accused him, he used to take that and write an article on that. The energy which was drained in Delhi, the energy which was drained in going to Delhi in those days in those buses and coming back, that completely negative thing he used to transform it into a positive thing by writing an article in Back to Godhead, the time, the killing factor of the modern age. Trying to remember. So what Krishna is teaching, yes, it happens. In begging, you went as a beggar to ask food, Brahmanas could not understand you, so it happens. This is an important lesson for us, that it can happen. Somebody will say no, somebody will say yes. So how to move in life depends on how we take up that thing and keep this in focus. Yes, the essence is important. Then Krishna says, okay, no problem, you go to Brahmana's wife. Don't go to Brahmana, go to Brahmana's wife. Then the children and the cowherd boys, they go to Brahmana's wife. And they say that the Krishna Balaram, they are waiting for the offerings. Then you know the reaction of Brahmana's wife. They left everything like that. And then they ran towards the cowherd boys with all the offerings. And it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam with all the different tastes. Some food can be licked, some food can be chewed, some food can be this. There are different types of food, right? So they took all the offerings without bothering Brahmanas, their wife, their husbands, their family. They all came to stop. How can you go? How can you leave your father? How can you leave your mother? How can you leave your husband and go to Krishna? But no, they got the essence. And what is the essence? Always to remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Krishna said their body was there, but their mind was always attracted towards me. That's the essence. So cowherd boys, they got the offerings and the food from the Brahmana's wife, and they all ran towards Krishna and Balaram with all the offerings. And they understood the essence of Krishna consciousness, they understood the essence of our philosophy, just like Srila Prabhupada is describing here, that Munis may not understand fully because they are too much into scriptures, references. They may see the person as old, while the Bhaktas, they know the essence and they know how to take darshan of the Lord from the lotus feet onwards, that we have to always remember that all the meditation, all the yoga and everything which is described in Srimad Bhagavatam here, which Kapila Muni is describing to devotee, ultimately rests in connecting with the Lord. If we cannot connect with the Lord, then practically the yoga, meditation has got no value. This is what I thought I will discuss with you. Let us summarize in 1 minute. We started off with glorifying Sanatana Goswami's. By the way, Sanatana Goswami's personal deity, where Radha Madan Mohan used to worship, still worshipping is going on, and he used to make such a rich man, left everything only because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed him. And he used to take water from Yamuna river and some atta and some balls of that, and put it in the fire, and that he used to offer it to the deity, and he used to have that. So, very auspicious day, Sanatana Goswami's day. We all should take the blessings from such great Vaishnavas in the line of Gaudiya Sampradaya, and that we are glorifying only because of Srila Prabhupada's Hare Krishna movement, which we discussed in the beginning, the three very important aspects of any movement. Take any movement, today you go and read any movement, you will find strong ties, you will find weak ties, and you will find third thing, for sustainability, for carrying out the movement, you need identity. The strong ties you will get. Weak ties also you will get, because that is all related to the personality, the charisma of the people that is there. But how long that can last? That can last for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Weak ties also, if so many people are not interested, I can make them, I can persuade them by bringing in white elephant. But how can white elephant will also survive? Okay, for some years. But the third point, which is very important, is the identity. Identity is the root thing. For all the movements which are based on body, satyagrahi, by identifying with some cause or something, will not work for eternality. The only thing which will work is getting the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, that we are not the body, we are the soul. Prabhupada one time, somebody asked Prabhupada, if Krishna is everywhere, why do we have to go to temple? Good question also. Krishna is everywhere. In stone, Krishna is there in house, everywhere Krishna. Aham sarvasva pravaho matta sarvam paravartate iti matva vadate ma uta bhava sammanita. I am there. I am the source of everything. If he is the source of everything, he is present everywhere. Why to come to temple? Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada says, yes, you are right, Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is everywhere, and Krishna is also in your heart. Right? Krishna is in our heart as Paramatma. So the day you start talking to Paramatma, you stop coming to the temple. How many of us we talk to Paramatma? Krishna is everywhere. So if we have really realized and we are talking to Paramatma, then you can come, you cannot come. But till that day, although Krishna is present everywhere, doesn't mean that we don't come to the temple and take darshan. This is very important. The one who says that yes, Krishna is everywhere, no? But Krishna is everywhere, but have we realized it? So Krishna is the closest friend of ours. But are we talking to Krishna? Are we talking sincerely to Krishna? This is the point. And this is what the essence comes from identifying the third aspect of any movement, that is identity. And on that identity, this movement will last for years to come. So this we discussed, and then we came on to the purport where we discussed ritualistic concept, carrying out with just ritualism. We get so many examples on that one to understand that we have to get the essence of Krishna consciousness, knowing that ritual to some extent is also important in giving space and in creating the mood for the devotional service. Hare Krishna. If you have any comment? By the way, I was just talking to Omkar. He is very interested in Krishna consciousness. Then yesterday we were there together. He told me, पवन जी आपका नाम किससे शुरू होता है? मैंने कहा प। तो इसने अपना भी नाम ओमकार से अपनी राशि वाशी कुछ बताना शुरू किया. He comes from UP. The interesting part, the essence is this. And he said, आप जानते हो मेरा नाम ओमकार है, लेकिन मेरा नाम चैतन्य स्वरूप रखा गया था शुरू में. मैंने कहा तुम तो पैदा ही हुए इनिशिएटेड नेम से, चैतन्य स्वरूप. और फिर पता नहीं ओमकार कब हो गया हो, और अब फिर से इस्कॉन मूवमेंट में आ गए यहाँ पर. मैंने कहा बहुत इजी है, बिकॉज तुम्हारा लिंक तो ऑलरेडी बन चुका है. तुम तो चैतन्य स्वरूप हो और वहां से हो जहाँ कृष्ण की पूजा होती है. कृष्ण ही कृष्ण है पूरे. तो I was inspired by that sentence that this also happens, चैतन्य स्वरूप से ओमकार, फिर ओमकार से पता नहीं कब अतिशीघ्र चैतन्य स्वरूप. हरे कृष्ण. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, रघुनाथ स्वामी महाराज की जय, गुरुदेव की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, सनातन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय.
Hare Krishna, thank you for Nimai Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Today is third Friday, so there is a Bhagavad Gita recitation from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Fourth Friday, but because we are Rath Yatra, so instead of third Friday, we are having a Bhagavad Gita recitation from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. today. Hare Bol. Today is the first day of first month of Chaturmasya. Hare Bol. Fasting for 1 month for green leafy vegetables. Hare Krishna. Parashara Rath Yatra is on 18th August. So we request devotees to contribute for that, and for that they can contact office. Hare Krishna. Today is Guru Purnima, Vyas Purnima, and also a disappearance day of Srila Sanatana Goswami. We already heard the glorification of Sanatana Goswami. Today evening Bhogan to the Lord is offered by co-sponsor R. Punya Chandran Prabhu and Krishnamma Mataji for the pleasure of worship. Also co-sponsor are Shambhu Biswas Prabhu and Anima Biswas Mataji. Hare Bol. Today's morning Bhogan to the Lord is offered by disciples of His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj on the occasion of celebrating his 69th Vyas Puja. We will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for our sponsors. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this case, Bhadracharu Prabhu is hospitalized. What we understand that he has heart attack, and because of it he is hospitalized. So we will pray to Narasimhadev Bhagavan for the well-being of all the devotees assembled here, and especially for the sponsors and for the recovery of His Grace Bhadracharu Prabhuji. And also we already celebrated the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj, and we will pray to Narasimhadev Bhagavan for the His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So we will now move to the and also for the Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Devadatta Swami Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. We will now move to the main hall for Narasimha Arati. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.